class. Yeah, in class briefly before Aaron tested it, I had the screen up with the enemies fully visible. So that's what I'll be presenting today. My um, my milestone 1, it was already completely finished, so I'm just showing that off now. And as for milestone 2, the platforms. The enemy spawner here. So here I have the new enemy. He does Tatsumaki when he gets close. Now, that movement is not at all coming from the animation. That movement is coming from the script. So when he does Tatsumaki, he's not only is he moving because of the script, but he's also jumping because of the script. And the enemies, this enemy's jump is coming from a raycast asset in the script as well. Yep. So the animation is purely aesthetic. Everything in what he does is coming straight from the script and its parameters. And when he jumps to me, he bounces right back off me. Boop. Or he just hits me. Boop, like that. Perfectly fits him. There's a new hit animation, and they released these green particle effects when they get hit. Aaron mentioned that there was an issue with the hit state, such as there was like some kind of delay, but there's no delay. It's nothing wrong with the enemy script. I'm using the old enemy prefab, and it's using the old enemies. It's using the old. But this player script, it only does damage to an enemy from a distance, so that's why maybe sometimes when you hit them, they won't go into hit state. But it's only with this player script, and you know, like I told Aaron, I'm sure Curtis has fixed that issue. Yeah. So yeah, it's just a matter of it all works perfectly fine. The hit state is just yep. When he takes damage, hit state. What else do I want to cover? I can show off the enemy spawner. Spawn point. There we go. So you can see here, enemies are being instantiated from an invisible object, and that invisible object is the enemy spawner. And I have it set to spawn 10 enemies at a time. And this is prefab right here, so it's two prefabs. It's both an enemy pool. The enemy pool is what grabs the instance of an object and instantiates it. And I set the pool size to 10. So the pool size is how many enemies you can spawn at a time. I can make it much more than this. This is spawn timer. So this is you set the tag to what you want the object to spawn, and I have it here. I want to spawn the object with the enemy pool tag. Interval is how many seconds in between will it instantiate the next object, and after 5 seconds, I have it set to after 5 seconds, so instantiate the next object. Oh yeah, sounds are perfectly working. Perfectly working sounds. There are multiple. I have it right now. I have it set up with an array of 5 sound bites. There's a sound for shooting. There's a sound for getting hit. There's a sound for dying. There's a sound for getting to your next waypoint. There's a sound for being alerted from if the player is near you. So sounds are perfectly working. It's currently using placeholder sounds, but I plan to incorporate, the sounds that we want later. So yeah, everything's looking good. Everything's working great. Before I go off, I want to show off something cool that I can do with the enemies. And I'm not sure if you were able to see it perfectly fine before, but here, let me do it again in case, because there's a lot of enemies here. It may be hard to see the hits done. Well, it should be hard. Let me just show it off again. Boom. So, you saw that? Maybe it'd be easier to see with less enemies. Do that. I also want to show off this cool thing too. Alright, so I turn off the enemy spawner. Turn it off. Boom. Alright. So, if I hit an enemy, like so, it will do this. Boom. Oh, well. So this is another cool thing I was wanted to show off. I have the enemy set up where if you hit them, like I said, the particle effects come out. But the way I have that set up is the particle effects are an object that I have instantiated. So it doesn't have to be particle effects. It could be anything generic. I could have models come out of it. I could have anything I want come out of it. So that's something I'm going to show off right now. The enemy is sitting there because I don't have its waypoint set up. So I should set up its waypoints. Alright. Alright, it should be going now. Yep. Okay. It's looking good. Oh, that's curve speed. Alright. There we go. Alright. So this is what happens if you hit an enemy. I don't think I have its animator set up either, but that's just one enemy. I use for testing. The rest of the enemies are good. Boop. But you can briefly see it, but they go into their hit state when you hit them. Boop. Yep. So you saw that jolt? That's their animation when they get hit. And the green stuff comes out. Boop. It looks black sometimes. Boop. Boop. Yep. Hit. Boop. 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 Now the reason why these enemies are still is because these are enemies that came out of that jumping enemy. Instantiated it because I had him inside the exploding object prefab. So let me get rid of this enemy. So yeah, everything's working good. So there's a lot you can do with this stuff. Oof. Alright. That's all.